the vintage Chanel bag, a keeper or a return? Hi and very welcome. My name is Mary. This is my channel Lumi Level Up and I'm a luxury lover on an average income trying to be more mindful with my money. In my latest video I unboxed this vintage Chanel bag that I got pre-loved from the German luxury reseller Vite En Vogue in beige caviar leather with gunmetal hardware and a Mademoiselle turn lock. If you want to find out more about my experience with Vite En Vogue or you want to see my very first impression of that bag, I would recommend you to watch the unboxing that I'm going to link for you at the end of this video and in the description box. And right after the unboxing, I was not really sure if I want to keep that bag or if I want to return it, and I just needed a little bit more time to make up my mind. So today I'm going to share my decision with you. And I don't know how helpful it can be for anyone if I show you what fits into this bag, because I do not even know the exact name of this style of model and I have not seen it that often on the pre-loved market before. Most of the times this bag is described as something like vintage, Mademoiselle lock, quilted flapbag. Oh, and sometimes the description says accordion as well. So unfortunately, chances that the person that might be interested in getting this bag would be able to find my what fits are not too big, and everyone who really might like this bag from my video and is trying to find one of these vintage bags might have quite a hard time on the pre-loved market. So the situation is not ideal, but I thought since I tried out what fits anyways, I can just film it and share it with you. But if a what fits for a vintage bag isn't interesting for you at all, I will leave the timestamp for you in the description box and you can just jump to the next part of the video. Besides the what fits, I'm going to show you close-ups of all the wear and tear, all the signs of use on this vintage bag, and then we'll jump to my decision. So vintage accordion Chanel quilted flap bag, here we go. So let's do a little what fits with my Chanel vintage bag. It is quite a clown's car bag because it can unfold on the sides and then you can really put a lot of stuff into it, but I will show you in a second. So let's open the bag. It does come with two compartments, one big one and one smaller front pocket. I will start with my Dolce & Gabbana Continental wallet. It is the same size as the zippy coin wallet from Louis Vuitton. And of course it does fit without any problem at all. Next we will put my little Louis Vuitton mini pochette. I put some cosmetics into it that I would take on a daily and no problem at all. Usually I wouldn't carry my mini pochette and my toiletry in the smallest size. I will put it on screen. I don't know the size by heart right now. I would only carry the mini pochette or the toiletry pouch, but you could carry both of them as well. The bag closes without any problems. I would carry a pochette clé as well, and we could put that into the front flap. Of course, I would need a phone on the daily. I still have a very old iPhone S. It does fit here in the front compartment and a bigger phone would fit without any problems at all as well. If I take such a huge wallet, I wouldn't need a card holder, but let's try it anyways. I put 6 cards into this Mont Blanc one and without any problem we can put it to this front flap and the bag still closes. No problem at all. Let's put a little mask because of the times we're living in, but I could put this one in a mini pochette or the toiletry pouch as well. And to max it out, if you take sunglasses in such a fluffy pouch, you can put it on top and close the bag. Everything fits. Of course, these sides are wide open then because we put quite a lot into this bag, but it's no problem at all. If you want to take sunglasses in a bigger case, like this super bulky Louis Vuitton one, I would recommend to get rid of one of the little pouches inside of the bag, so the toiletry pouch, and then you have still a lot of room to add something else here on top. and it closes without a problem at all. So I really have to say this bag is super roomy, and the sides can expand a lot so that you can really stuff a lot into the bag. Of course, if you pack it like that, it gets quite heavy, but it for sure does fit everything I would need on a daily basis. So this bag definitely stood the what fits test for me, and I would not even pack it that much on a daily basis. I guess for a medium-sized bag, most people would go for a smaller wallet, but it's always good to try out the Max. So even though this bag looks like being on the smaller side when carried on the shoulder, it definitely fits everything that I need on a regular day. And I think it's even safe to say that this accordion bag fits more than one would think it does fit. But let's take a closer look at the overall condition next. Little reminder here, this bag was listed for 1,200 euro, and because of a 20% coupon code I was able to get it for 960. I already gave you a first impression of the condition in the unboxing, but let's take another closer look. So the leather itself is nice. It is caviar leather. It is this warm beige color. There are no major scuffs or anything at the bag. One thing you can notice, it is a little bit out of shape on the bottom, but especially on the sides. If you stuff this bag fully, it doesn't matter because it unfolds, but if it is not completely filled, you can see it's not that even. On the other side as well, if it is packed full, it's no problem because it unfolds, but if it's not full, it has not been stored the best way. This leather corner should be like this, and this one should fold. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. You see here the leather is quite under pressure when the corner should be here. We do have some little scuffs on the corners. I think it's nothing dramatic. You could get that touched up by a cobbler or something. It's just the corner, not really the leather itself, that has a damage. The handle has this engraved Chanel lettering, which is not that visible anymore, so we do have quite some use here as well. And the engraving is only on one side of the bag. Other than that, the chain is in very good condition. All the seams are tight. The hardware does not show any scuffs, only some slight fingerprints from me, but this is in very good condition. And when we look inside, here is a tiny mark from a pen, but I don't mind that at all. Other than that, it is very clean inside as well. The front flap as well. So I really do agree this bag is in very good condition for a vintage bag from around 2005 or 2006. I wouldn't mind the condition. To make it very clear, all these little flaws were very visible on the pictures of Vite En Vogue, so they didn't come as a bad surprise for me. I can imagine that the condition for some might already be a deal breaker, but I think it was taken into consideration for the price, which seems to be a fair price to me. When hunting for a preloved bargain and paying under 1,000 euro for a Chanel bag, usually you can't expect flawless condition. But for the most, I'm fine with a vintage bag having some wear and tear. If you're not and you want to have a perfectly new piece, you have to go to the boutique. At least that is what one should expect, brand new at the boutique, but my recent experiences with Louis Vuitton have proved me wrong over and over again. And of course, I'm not saying that there are no pristine condition vintage bags out there, but usually if you want pristine, you have to pay a premium price, not lowest end of Chanel bag prices. But all that condition aside, will I keep this bag or will I return it? And whatever decision I made, why? I already told you in the initial video that I'm not willing to compromise and that I really have to love this bag, and if I don't, I will return it. Because even if it's a great price for a Chanel bag, 1,000 euro for a vintage bag is still a huge chunk for me. And even though there is nothing that bothers me about this vintage Chanel bag, I didn't get butterflies either. I shop a lot impulsively, unfortunately, especially when doing preloved, and I do that on Vestiaire Collective most of the times. where I usually do not even have an opportunity at all to return an item if I bought it from a private person, even if I'm not 100% happy with that piece. So with Vite En Vogue, even having this choice on a pre-loved item is kinda a new experience for me. And even though I totally could see myself getting the use out of this bag, and I still think it is fair price and a good deal on a vintage Chanel bag, because I have seen this bag in quite similar condition for around double the price before. But now that I saw the bag in person and that I held it in my hands, even though it would work perfectly for my needs, I don't think it is a bag that I want to spend 1,000 euro on at the moment. To be completely honest with you, I cannot even say what it is. If it really is the bag or if it's more the times we're living in. Maybe it could have been the most perfect bag and I would feel just the same. Maybe it just doesn't sit right with me to spend that amount on a bag at the moment. I don't blame anyone who loves to shop or who wants to use shopping as a coping mechanism, especially right now. Probably a part of me was trying exactly that with that purchase as well. But I am in a somewhat strange state of mind at the moment, and I have a feeling that being more mindful with my money, especially with any kind of luxury purchases, could give me some stability and a better feeling than treating myself does at the moment. Even though the temptations are even somewhat stronger than they usually are, if that makes any sense at all. Not quite sure where I'm even going with this, it's just that Europe is going through a lot of change at the moment and nothing about it is for the better. But this video has taken a turn now that I did not even want to address that much, so I guess I'll probably come to an end now. The result is I'm going to return this vintage Chanel quilted accordion flap bag because I just didn't fall madly in love and spending that kind of money felt worse than it usually does. Even though there is nothing wrong with the bag and I would totally recommend to shop with Vite En Vogue. If the return goes as smooth as I'm expecting. Of course, if it doesn't, I will keep you updated, but I don't expect that there will be any issues. Thank you so much for watching, hope to see you next time, and bye! But if I would I would watch... If you haven't already seen it, I would recommend you to watch the unboxing of this bag as your next video. And there you can subscribe.